There is one thing wrongly highlighted by the media, including you guys, that Vaishali is the lowest rated player in the field. That's a very wrong viewpoint. We have this joke. If you want to catch the maximum number of Grandmasters in Chennai in the same time, please go to a wedding or a funeral. You will at least bump into 15 GMs there.
What do you think? What is going wrong with world champion Gukesh?
So I asked him, what's happening? I asked him this question. I feel that the same pushing you're doing, but that pushing which helped you between 2650 to 2750, why is it not helping you? Achievement is something that you can say the day you pass away, you have to be able to turn back and say that this is what I've achieved. We are producing Grandmaster by the week because of our number. We have to go beyond that. You understand, no? All these Grandmaster Open tournaments in India that we have had for last decades or so, very poorly organized and poor quality tournaments. Comparatively, go and watch Chola Chess first Grandmaster tournament. Ramesh showed how a tournament should be organized, what kind of players should be invited. In fact, again, I would say that unless Gukesh makes a turnaround before the World Championship, Sindarov is the favorite going into the World Championship. I would love Gukesh to win being in India. But the way things are shaping up, Gukesh has a big task ahead of him within this next few months.
It's really special to be here in Chennai, capital of chess, and there are so many emerging chess players coming from Chennai and now Vaishali. Sir, were you following her games in the candidates and were you following her journey?
Yeah, of course. It's a great thing that Vaishali has won the candidates, and there was always a chance that she would win. Personally, I considered Georgina to be the favorite to win. But of course, the way the tournament went, it was an open event. I mean, the field was quite open, and many people had chances compared to the open event, which was a one-horse race, as you saw. So that way, that is one. Second is, my first recollection of Vaishali was my friend Vishal Sareen, international master. He was the captain of the women Olympiad team a few years ago. So when he was doing the camp, that time the women team was a very strong one, Harika, Hampi, and so on. But he told me when the camps were going on, it's obvious that Vaishali was already destined for great things. And Ramesh is a good friend for me. So through Ramesh, I had always been following Vaishali and Prag all these years. Last 2 years, it looked as if she had certain consistency issues. For example, clock was never her friend. For example, and if you are observing Indian chess carefully, the way that these superstars have reached the summit, Arjun, Gukesh especially, and Vaishali from the women, among the women players, you know, dynamism is their key to go to the top, the way they play their chess. I really liked the way that Vaishali used to play, but one issue she had over the years was when pushing for a win, when complicating the position, when going for sacrifices, it almost as if she went berserk many times. She did not know that tipping point she didn't count, and it backfired many times more than it succeeded, especially when she played stronger players. But this tournament, there was a shift. You should ask these questions to Ramesh, what they did before the tournament, but I'm very sure they did something. One, controlled aggression, and the second, the clock she managed much better. But of course, she got a lot of chances in the tournament, which she used well also. So I think all combined together, that's what it happened in the women's candidate, I feel.
Also, sir, when I was preparing for this interview, I was looking at some articles and your videos. You are someone who believes that psychology also plays an important role. And as you mentioned that Zhu Jiner was your favorite, and I was assuming that Tan Zhongyi is also a great player. So all the players were very strong. What about Vaishali or any other player who just finishes as the winner spot? What they do something different? Is it psychology or some other thing that make them winner?
Round robin tournaments are different from any other event. To win a round robin, for example, you need consistency. You need not play your best in every game, but at the same time, the benchmark of play should be up to a certain mark in every game. That is very important in round robins. That is basically why, generally, if you see, if you are heads and shoulders above the rest of the field, you will definitely win a tournament. But otherwise, typically, if you see, if you are one among the best, it is my belief that dynamic players always win round robins more than solid players. You take the career graph of someone like Wesley So, and someone like Caruana, assuming for a moment that they both are equally strong in when it comes to technical side of chess, it will definitely be Caruana who will win more number of tournaments. This is what I've seen in my experience. You guys definitely will not know this. In India, 70s, 80s, and 90s, our national championship was a wonderful. Do you guys know what it was? What was the format?
No,
See,
sir.
you don't know. 20 player, 19 round robin tournaments. Wonderful tournaments. I played about 7, 8 of them, I think. Okay, you can say that this is too much, but those days we didn't have much else to do in life. There was not even a television at home.
Yes.
So it was grueling, first of all. You need real physical strength to play them and win them. But always the winner would be one who really had that hunger in him. That is one. Second is the reason why Vaishali won this tournament mainly is her graph is soaring yet. For example, before you ask me the question, I'll tell you now itself. In my opinion, she is the favorite to win the world championship.
Oh.
For example, Ju Enjun, she touched 2600. Now she is in mid 2550s. I don't know exactly how many points. But if you see her graph, she has been in 2500 for almost close to a decade now. For a player who was in 2600 but then in 2550s, the motivation is different compared to Vaishali, who has so much hunger in her. So, in my opinion, hunger is a very important quality for winning anything. 1983, 1984 Kasparov, we can go on and on, who was more hungry? 1972 Bobby Fischer, things like that. So, why I said Jules Jenner is, again, there is one thing wrongly highlighted by the media, including you guys, that Vaishali is the lowest rated player in the field. Yeah. That's a very wrong viewpoint. 25-28 and 24-78, there is not much difference between them. If Vaishali is 23-78, you should say that she is lowest in the field. I would say this way, candidates tournament was where there was one player who was 25-78 and the rest were around 2500. That's why I considered Jules Jenner to be a favorite, honestly. But again, Vaishali proved to be more hungry and all that. And again, age is on her side. And another is Vaishali's backstory. What kind of a background she has progressed to this level. All concluded, it was a very deserving victory. And going into the World Championship, in my opinion, she is the favorite.
Okay. As you talked about hunger, sir, in Chennai, many GMs are coming. Pragnananda is performing really well. Arvind is winning Super GMs tournament back to back. Gukesh is world champion. Now Vaishali and many more upcoming talents. Is it hunger or is this the ecosystem which you have created? Ramesh sir, Vishnu Prasanna sir or Anand sir. So what's different about this place which other states don't have or other cities don't have?
First thing is obviously Vishy. Chess in India started with Anand. It is where it is today thanks to Vishy Anand. So Vishy is the start of everything in India, and him being in Chennai, it always mattered. The second reason I would say is the ecosystem, definitely. I'll tell you an unpopular theory. In my opinion, India has produced 95th gem yesterday. I think this is a global phenomenon, including India. Those who actually make it to the top are those who were not spoiled when they were handled by beginning level coaches. We have coaches, the numbers we have, but when it comes to teaching methods and whether they are really going in the right direction, I would say no. I have, as a coach, not as a second, I worked with about 4 to 5 of them who became Grandmasters through me or were with me at some point. Many a time what would happen is the first thing what you should do is to get off the wrong habits that they had acquired by that point. Because, see, for example, actually only today we had a discussion, me and Grandmaster Akash, who is also one of the good coaches, we were talking. Every coach, the first, one of the first advice he would give children is think and play, don't play fast. If a kid comes to you with a very complex maths problem and tells you the answer in half a minute, you are very happy with the kid, you are brilliant. But if a kid comes to you and tells a correct move in 10 seconds, you will tell the coach, you will tell the kid, don't play fast. Come on. That is the actual talent level. Vishy Anand gave a very famous interview in which he said this: chess positions are like onions. You need time to get into the depth of it. So with each and every level of peeling, you get actually to the core of the position. But that happens at a much, much higher level. You know, at the lower level, as much as I have seen super talents in their youth, I think the previous interview we were talking about Hari Krishna, where I told this story. When Hari Krishna was training with Varghese Koshi, a great friend who passed away recently, he was the one who made all the fundamentals for both Hari Krishna as well as Abhijit Gupta. He was instrumental in making the fundamentals. So once in a week he will get tired of Hari and he will come and drop me at my house and yaar dekh lo isko. I was doing a coaching camp for Tamil Nadu Chess Association, so I'll take him in my bike and go to the association, go to the camp. And of course, Hari was a genius already. He was already 7-8 years old, but no doubt he was a genius. So I told him, should not open your mouth. Okay? Just sit in the back and listen. That's it. All the other kids were all promising, but nothing like Hari. So if anyone, if I give a position and they are not able to tell the answer, Hari will be sitting with a big grin in his face in the back and he will be looking. Finally, I'll also start laughing at, okay, Hari, tell me what's the answer. Rook D2. He will indicate that he got it the moment the question was given. That brilliance, for example, comes with speed. You know, what is every coach in the country telling? Think and play, don't play fast. Like this, there is this theory, no? A growing up child on an average hears a no from an adult 200 times in a day. That 200 becomes 2, every child will become a genius. Though it's practically not possible for any parent or a coach or a teacher. So, basically, that ecosystem is reasonably good in Chennai, I would say, because at all levels, there are coaches who do a reasonable job. It can still be made much better, but we have that ecosystem at least. This is the second thing. The third thing is simply interaction. You know, we have this joke. If you want to catch the maximum number of grandmasters in Chennai in the same time, please go to a wedding or a funeral. You will at least bump into 15 GMs there. Basically, exchange of ideas. When you grow up, the directions and all that, you get so much by sheer interaction. Vishy basically went and settled down in Europe in 92, 93 itself, that time itself. After that, he would come to India once a year, once to Chennai. India means once to Chennai. He would never play in India, of course. There were no tournaments conducted in India for him to play, not like he would not play. So, once in a year, he will call us for a dinner. All the chess players of Chennai, who are all the top players, I think. I've already told this many times. That one dinner may, I have got so many impacts which actually helped me in my career. You get it, no?
Yes.
Many jokes I've already told. If you want, I'll repeat it. Those days we had this ChessBase DVDs. There was no internet at one point in life. So we had ChessBase. If you subscribe, they will send a DVD by post, which will take 2 weeks to come. So then you put it into your CD drive and watch the videos and all. So I was watching one of those Super GM tournaments where Mickey Adams is sitting and playing, and Vishy comes to watch the game. Mickey just looks up, Vishy smiles, Mickey smiles, and Vishy goes away. So when he came to India the next time, I asked him, why did you smile at each other? He says, I call Adams the Seaman. Adams was definitely one of the best players in the world, especially in speeches. Turn of the century, man. He said, I call Adams the Seaman because C60 to C99, he could play everything. Any Royal Opus, he could play everything. It was impossible to catch Adams in a Royal Opus. I asked him, but isn't it wrong? We in India at that time, the belief was that depth is more important than breadth. Today, you have computers, your databases. It's very easy to become universal. But those days when preparing an opening will take at least a month of writing and analyzing and going through books and gathering games and all that. Those moments, you become very deep with your understanding in a single opening. That was your ticket to becoming a stronger player. Now I asked him, won't he lack a depth in playing chess? He said, no, not at all. That's basically how you become a stronger player in the long run. In fact, I would say that you should do this from B30 to B99 you should do. All the Sicilians with black pieces. When you do that, you have a much more broader canvas in dynamic positions. When you do that, you become an extremely strong player. As far as I know, in his career, I think except for the Sveshnikov, Vishy has played every other Sicilian throughout his career till he went to a certain level. Of course, beyond a certain level, he just stuck to the Naidov only. A little bit of Taimanov, I would say, but not many. You know, this kind of interactions. Imagine one dinner giving you a direction in life itself. So, this is basically what I would say Chennai. And of course, today though, we have some of the best chess academies. What Ramesh is doing with his Chola Chess Academy is brilliant job. Amazing job. I don't want to say anything negative. A job which should have been done by certain organizations, Ramesh is doing it single-handedly with the help of his wife, Aarti. That's wonderful. You have Shyam Sundar, who became a professional coach just a few years ago. He is producing a Grandmaster a month, a title player a month. The same way with Vishnu Prasanna. You have Akash. So many very good coaches. Vishnu's Hatson Chess Academy, for example, is a wonderful organization down south. Yeah. All coming together, Chennai is a wonderful place, yes.
Also, coming back to candidates, Sindarov was performing insanely well. He was winning back-to-back games. Would you say among the strong field, he was also a dynamic player, so that's why he crossed that path?
Actually, it's a little bit of a surprise. All of you saw Sindarov winning the World Cup. You know, in World Cup games, what was his best suite? Which area of chess he played the best in World Cup?
No, not really.
End games. Sindarov won the World Cup thanks to his end game. Bluebaum, one of the best defensive players, he won in an end game in World Cup. But you see the way he played in the candidates. His 2 games against Prague were, tactical fests, one. Second is that crucial game against Caruana, where Caruana pulled off the Queen's Gambit accepted. The way Sindarov played that game was really flawless. And the way he defeated Prag in the second game was extremely impressive. Peace sacrifice again for the sake of complications, keeping the white king in the center. And if you go by the accuracy statistic, definitely producing um, consistently good moves after sacrificing a piece is not just a chess ability. You know, today in India, the biggest problem we have in developing youngsters is materialism. Materialism out of the board comes into the board through your hand by not playing dynamically, because your mind just doesn't cooperate to give up material and play chess. In my opinion, a very easy way to um, gauge a player's talent is by seeing how they treat material when they were young. You know, young Anish Giri is not the player that you see today. Young Ding Liren was a fantastic player in exchange sacrifices, for example. You get it right. So, the way Sindarov played this tournament was completely different from what I assessed him in the World Cup. But of course, there are many other tournaments where he plays dynamic. But playing so dynamically in a candidate matches, honestly, hats off. Even his best victories in candidates also, Anand never played so dynamically. Anand was actually more of a consistent player when it comes to winning these tournaments. Anand's brilliance and creativity coming to the fore and all that, that's a different story. That's his strongest suite. But Anand used to win these candidate matches, candidates tournament kind of events, strong tournaments and all by consistency. Sindarov won it dynamically. So Sindarov's win is, I think, monumental, in my opinion. In fact, again, I would say that unless Gukesh makes a turnaround before the World Championship, Sindarov is the favorite going into the World Championship. Of course, I would love Gukesh to win, being an Indian. But the way things are shaping up, Gukesh has a big task ahead of him within this next few months.
As we are talking about Gukesh, you are someone at near to 2007 or something, you started working with Vishy as his trainer, right? What do you think? What is going wrong with world champion Gukesh?
You can't compare that era with today's era. It's a different story today because players today play a crazy amount of chess. It's completely different from what Vishy was doing when he was world champion. But just Gukesh, if you are focusing on and seeing what's going wrong, this is a theory I have. If you have observed Gukesh from 2650 to 2750, how he went through the phase, Chennai Olympiad, then even open tournaments and all, Gukesh's strength was, Arjun Erigasi's strength also, basically going full-fledged, full throttle in each and every game they play. After Gukesh became a world champion, and then this string of difficult tournaments happened, I actually met him again, as I said, in a wedding in Chennai. So I asked him, what's happening? I asked him this question. I feel that the same pushing you're doing, but that pushing which helped you between 2650 to 2750, why is it not helping you? At least that's what I feel. What do you say? He said, you're right. It's not helping me. But the point is, when that moment comes, cut or thrust, whether I have to go inside bang bang or whether I just step back and just treat the position, I can't help but take the leap and going into a risk territory. This is what he said. See, it's very, very difficult to come to any clear understanding what a player should be doing now. Should you stifle your natural instincts and play in a way that you actually have not done all these years? Or should you keep doing what you did all these years so that, you become a world champion doing that all these years? These are very, very difficult things. See, for example, I still remember that day in 2008. Vishy versus Kramnik match was being scheduled. First day of the camp, me, Sashikiran, Ganguly, Vishy. So we just sat, we all went to Anand's house, 10 o'clock in the morning, we all sat up our computers. So Vishy just told Ganguly, they already knew what they were going to work. Ganguly was already second and all that. So yeah, QGA, this is what we are going. I was like, QGA, oh my god. This guy's going to play QGA against Kramnik. I was like, why QGA? Kramnik, at the end of the day, player with such an understanding. Then I just looked at, then the thought struck me. I just looked at Anand. Anand, you're going to play white d4. He said, I didn't tell you. Yeah, I'm going to play d4 in this match. He had already, if you have read The Mind Master and this Anand's second book now, the recent book, you know the story. They had actually decided during the World Championship tournament itself. But the point is, I didn't know when I actually sat there to see and all that. It was possible for Vishy Anand to completely rearrange his chess and go and beat another genius in a match convincingly with white 1d4. But would Gukesh benefit with such an approach? I don't know, because see, one more thing I'll tell you, this is a little deeper I feel when it comes to human psychology. Vishy is not just a genius of a chess player. Vishy is an extremely deep, extremely intelligent human being. You get me? There is this joke. Vishy Anand is traveling alone somewhere, so he's in the airport and the flight gets delayed. So he's in the departure lounge. Unfortunately, he didn't go to any lounge or something, so he's with everyone. So, you know, people came with selfies, sir, selfie, sir, selfie. Okay, so one guy comes and shakes Anand's hand with, real happiness, sir. So nice to meet you, sir. I'm your great fan, sir. Thanks, Anand. Thanks. Your last movie was fantastic, sir. Anand, without missing a beat, says, thanks. And he comes and tells this story. So when I went to his house, his wife told me this story. We all had a hearty laugh. Then it struck me, hey Anand, why didn't you ask him which movie? Anand, Aruna said, Adutaya Nanum Ketan. That's the same thing I said. If you had at least asked that fellow which movie, we could have tried to understand whom he has confused you with. Anand said, don't I have any other job to do? Come on. Anand has this ability to, when you have intelligence, it is not limited just to your abilities, skills alone. It also has to do with your emotional intelligence. Anand is emotionally also an extremely intelligent person. Very, very difficult to make him angry, make him annoyed, etc., etc. Make him laugh, it's very easy. But making him annoyed is very difficult because he has this very, very strong personality. At some level, why Anand became world champion? Because he doesn't respect anyone when it comes to the chessboard. He has superior courage and belief in himself, for example. That helps him in one day to switch to 1d4 and beat Vladimir Kramnik. That kind of an emotional intelligence. That kind of intelligence I have never come across in my individual life moving with anyone, for example. I don't know about these boys, Guki, Prag and Arjun so well. But looking at that age which they are in, to make such drastic changes in their chess and still do so well, it's not going to be easy. If you guys know this, 3-4 years ago, Vidit did this. Vidit was a completely different player about 5 years ago. 4 years ago, he made a complete change in his chess. He called it himself as Vidit 2.0. Yeah. It worked for Vidit. But again, Vidit is also a very intelligent, very deep guy. Big reader, if you know.
Yes.
Voracious reader and all that. This is basically where I differ from Ramesh. Ramesh has this viewpoint that if you are enough crazy about chess, that's good enough to take you to the top of the mountain. I don't agree with that. Having seen Vishy, having seen how he has navigated his life, not just in chess, otherwise also. Remember, in Anand's days, he never had the establishment support. So many wrongs have been committed against him. 2007 World Championship Tournament, 2008 World Championship match, 2010 World Championship match, 2012 World Championship match, 2013 World Championship match, 2014 World Championship match. Please show me another world champion who has done all this. Having to play so many world championship matches in a short span of time. Simply because Anand was not into chess politics. How did Kasparov get a match against Kramnik? How did Kramnik get a match against Kasparov? I'm not telling it for controversy. Anand did not have establishment support. Today, very thankfully, this is the biggest good thing which has happened to chess in the last few years, I believe. Chess has come out of the control of the federations and associations of India. They are not as powerful to harm you if you don't listen to them. Because of one, thanks to the pandemic, the kind of attention that chess got, two, the kind of money which is being, the parents can afford to spend that money to make their children grandmasters and world champions. The second part. And simply you can afford to miss any national and still become a grandmaster today just by playing abroad and making your norms. Thanks to all that. You have to remember that when Anand played, he didn't have any of this support. Yeah. So all this basically has made chess a completely different game today. You understand, no? So you cannot compare basically how Gukesh would change himself, but at the same time, what was possible for Vishy to do that today, it's not easy. That's what I mean to say. Yeah.
As just a follow-up question, as we are talking about this, you mentioned about hunger. Do you think that after winning the world championship, Gukesh is content, and the hunger has somehow got a little decreased? As we were talking about this.
This can easily lead to a negative answer. But I feel somewhere that, yeah, Gukesh was appearing in certain events which he shouldn't have. I feel so, to be honest. He played a Masters a week ago. There was one game, one day event in US where unfortunately even Sagar Shah also turned up. I'm just joking. That match, why did Gukesh turn up? I have my objections towards this. I belong to the old school. When you have a target in front of you, when you have the capacity to do something, when you have the opportunity to do something, single-minded dedication to the task is extremely important. I belong to that school because I have seen Vishy doing this. I told this, I think in ChessBase interviews itself I told this. 2008 we were preparing for Kramnik. Anand went and won the world championship. After the match got over, 2008 Kramnik. After he won the world championship, he came back and there are interviews in which his father said, during this time my 70th birthday happened. My son with his family came from Billai. My daughter with her family, she came from New York. Vishy Anand lives just, my son lives just 3 kilometers away. He didn't come, he sent his wife.
Wow.
That was Vishy Anand for you. I was fortunate to learn many things from Anand. The biggest things I have learned with Anand is, for example, punctuality. He asks you to come at 10, it's never 9:55 or 10:05. It is always 10 o'clock. And we were working, this is a very nice story. We were working This was not for any world championship or anything. Just something was coming up in London, and at the time Magnus used to play Taiwan with Black, and young Magnus, you're talking about, like 2700 Magnus. So we were just working on some Taimanos. So again, we started at 10, and it was somewhere around 5 o'clock, and his wife comes inside the room and looks at Anand and says, "Hey, it's time." Vishy, of course, such things doesn't enter his head. He's not an absent-minded professor, but he's a focused guy. So he just realized, and he looks at me, "Saravanan, actually I have to go out now, and I won't be here for an hour. What do you want to do?" I'm like, "What? What do you want to do? Tell me. If you want, you can stay back and work, or we can wind up for the day. It's up to you." I wasn't very comfortable about staying back in his house when he is not there. But at the same time, even today, every half an hour with Vishy, for me, it's a pleasure at any time. So I said, "Anand, if you don't mind me working, I'll continue working. You go on, come in." "Sure, I'm working. We are working. Continue working." That position. I said, "Fine." Goes out of the room. I'm working. Comes back into the room. I'm seeing that he's actually wearing a suit, and he has come to take his tie. I'm like, okay, he's going somewhere serious. Went out, and 2000, this was somewhere around 2008. So computers were not so strong. So joke comes later. So he goes. He said he'll be back at 6:15. 6:05, I get a message, "I'll be 15 minutes late." What's the need to send that message? No WhatsApp those days. One message was 5 rupees. So I will be 15 minutes late. By then I'm used to which is 15 minutes late and telling you and all that. Okay, fine, I'm working. So he was back at 6:30. He enters the room, doesn't even, change into comfortable clothes. "Did you get anything?" I said, "I got 3 ideas." I showed him. So what I worked with a computer for 1.5 hours, 3 ideas, he looks at them for 5 seconds each. He says, "This is crap. Just put your bishop here, put your knight here, it won't work." Second idea, I showed him. "This is nice. We'll have a look at it." Third idea, "This might work. We will see later." 15 seconds, he makes a determination of how good those ideas, of what you worked on for 1.5 hours. Then he comes and changes. And of course, I don't ask him, "Where did you go?" It's none of my business. Then we finish at 8:30 as usual. I go home, sleep, get up in the morning at 5:30 to go to badminton, pick up the Hindu newspaper. Second page, Cancer Hospital fundraiser. Vishy Anand, the rice scientist Emma Swaminathan, Krishnamachari Srikanth, and Dr. Sharada. If you know her, she is a very, very renowned and very respected oncologist who single-handedly and managed to make Cancer Hospital a great institution in Chennai. He was on the stage giving a speech, and he must have messaged me from the stage that he's 15 minutes late. You want to become a world champion, you better have that kind of a passion and focus. You get me, no? I belong to that school, and times may change. You may get better facilities to work on chess. You may have better opportunities to go abroad and play and all that. But core value like focus, hunger, passion, and that single-mindedness should stay forever. So on that count, again, I don't want to make it negative, but I feel Gukesh could have done a little better. I feel, yes. But again, he has time now. Again, you've got 6 months, I think, hopefully. So definitely, and these are easier to make when you are younger. So that toning down from participating in too many Grand Chess Tour events, I think that's a very good decision he has taken. So there is time, yes.
Okay.
If you had to mentor him for maybe some time and advise something, not only to Gukesh but also so many players who are out there who don't have a direction to move ahead or move or grow, like some are stuck in 2550, some are stuck in 2600, to have a approach and to take the next leap in their career as a coach, as a chess player, what would you advise them?
The very first thing is curiosity. Today I see one a little disappointing thing. Players, even grandmasters, look at their coaches for giving them directions. This is something which I find very surprising and a little disappointing. Um, this was one of the camps for, I think, Topalo, me, Anand, and Ganguly. Whenever you start working with Anand, generally it will be for anywhere between 3 weeks to a month, these kind of camps. You like get exhausted at the end of the month. So first few days are exciting. You're with Vishy and you know he's going to play the World Championship and you're analyzing openings. By 2010, Anand had got those wonderful, very strong chess engines which the rest of the world didn't know. It was Anand's inventions. Anand invented, what do you call them? Remote engine technology he invented. There is a interview of, there is a talk show with me and Anand at Chennai International Center where he revealed how he invented this technology. So we already had those remote engine technology, which today ChessBase gives us cloud engines. We had it for 2 years without the rest of the world knowing Anand's invention. We were all enjoying. Yeah. So first 2-3 days are exciting always. So it was the fourth or fifth day. 5 o'clock in the evening, I was gone. So Anand realized I was gone and what are you doing? I said, I'm reading something, nothing to do with chess. I'm sorry, I'm gone today. You guys carry on. Immediately, Ganguly closed his machine. You know what? I am also gone. I didn't want to tell it. Anand just laughed. I said, Chalo, let's go for a tea. So we just had a early break in the evening. We went down, had a chai, roamed around, came back again and started working. I said, Anand, please, today I can't do anything. Ganguly also said, Anand, shall we wind up early today? Guys, what is this? Then he showed us a file. I think it was University of Pittsburgh, I think. I'll just message and ask him, maybe he will still remember. Remember, these were the days when engines were not so strong and table bases had not been invented yet. Those times it was. Some crazy guys who were crazy about chess and who had a lot of time in their hands, they fed all the pawnless endgames into the computer. All kinds of ridiculous endings. Two bishops of the same color against queen. Things, stuff like this. And they put all the positions with pieces on their initial squares, something like that. And then asked the computers to see whether any checkmate could be achieved within 50 moves because of the 50 more rule. क्या फायदा उसमें? What do you get out of it? Mr. Vishy Anand had gone, downloaded that file, and then he showed us the file. Next half an hour, we had not half an hour, 15 minutes, we had so much fun, looking at. Then I saw that many of the moves were with exclamation marks. I said, Anand, what is this exclamation mark? He said, if you miss this move, the solution goes beyond 50 moves, so it's a draw. That also they had filed. They had made exclamation points for that. This fellow, Anand, had understood all that and enjoyed all that. What is the necessity for a world championship to go through? Curiosity. To become a world champion or to be the best in the world, it is not enough to be functionally good at chess. You should know everything about chess. You get what I mean?
Yes.
If you read the autobiographies of people like Richard Feynman and the book on John Nash and all that, they didn't have anything else to do in their life but physics. That is how basically you get a Nobel, not just like that. So, first thing is that today, that Grandmaster title has become an unfortunate signpost for many. Achieving a Grandmaster title, achieving 2600, etc. Today, with reasonable talent, extremely good hard work, good coaching, anyone can become a Grandmaster today. It has come to that stage. Chess in India has come to that stage. But if you want to go much beyond that and achieve something really significant in your life, first is curiosity, second is, of course, hunger. After losing so badly to Carlsen, now I can tell honestly, we all were so upset after the Chennai match got over. Look how Anand went and won the Khanti candidates.
Yes.
Amazing performance. See, to do that, you can say mental strength. It's not that. It is beyond that. You need a hunger. It's like Rocky Balboa getting up with a poster of his opponent and punching him once every day in the morning. Like that, you should wake up with Vladimir Kramnik, Vaseline Topolo in your mind. Things like that. That kind of a hunger. That is the second thing. Third thing, today this has happened in the last few years. Materialism is the biggest problem for chess players at every level. 10 standard, 10-year-old, 11-year-old kids, they know how much their fathers or mothers are spending towards every foreign trip and how much they are paying their coaches. There starts the problem today. So, you go to a chess tournament, you first see your opponent's rating first, and then you start already worrying if he is lower rated that you have to beat him, otherwise you're in trouble. Very strange in India, one of the biggest problems for juniors today is they don't play well against lesser rated opponents. My generation, lesser rated opponent mean Abba, today you have a rest day.
Yes.
You can beat them easily. That's how we used to go to the board when we were young. Yeah, you understand? So materialism off the board is rubbing into materialism on the board. Sacrificial chess is becoming very, very rare in India at below levels, very honestly. See, that is why Gukesh and Arjun showed what is possible if you don't care about material, what is possible to achieve in the chess they showed. But still, it is when it comes to actually decision making on the board, it is difficult for children to do. This is the another thing. The next thing is, as I said, getting off signposts and having that. See, you have only one life, especially in my age. I know definitely I'm past half my life. Maybe even two-thirds of my life is over. At that point, you realize that, life is full of possibilities. Achievement is something that you can say the day you pass away, you have to be able to turn back and say that this is what I've achieved. Achievement should be measurable by such beyond time, beyond country barrier achievement they should be. That kind of a hunger I don't see much in the country today. Very unfortunate it is. We are producing Grandmaster by the week because of our number. We have to go beyond that. You understand, no? See these academies of Vishnu, Ramesh, and all that. We should have programs of such magnitudes at higher level from grassroots. All these Grandmaster Open tournaments in India that we have had for last decades or so, very poorly organized and poor quality tournaments. Comparatively, go and watch Chola Chess first Grandmaster tournament. Ramesh showed how a tournament should be organized, what kind of players should be invited.
Yes.
You have that kind of tournament happening every second month in India, which is very much possible. We have so much of sponsorship available in India today. Definitely, we will start producing what the Soviet Union did from 1950 to 1980. We can definitely produce much more than that.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insights and having us. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you so much.